So we got to talk about Marie wanting to beat the brakes off of Latrice. Beat the brakes. I mean, so I got to admit to you guys, watching Bell Collective over the past, I would say, starting this season, it started to feel a bit like watching Potomac to me. And what I mean by that is these beefs that just won't let go. Okay. There is the feeling of isolation or the icing out of Latrice and maybe even to a certain degree Tambra. There are alleged behind the scenes capers, of running plays to pretend as if Tambra allegedly didn't want Aikisha in the group message. I mean, those are elements that come dangerously close to reminding me of Potomac and why I stress watch Potomac nowadays. So, given that there had also been a variety of shows out, I had sort of taken a step back because it was December, the holidays. It was just hard to keep up with everything. And then the episodes come out on a Friday. Now, it's just a lot, okay? And trying to be very consistent with whatever shows that I'm going to do, it had became a lot to me. So, we took a little bit of a break from Bell Collective, but we are back for the reunion. All right. So it's the season 3 reunion, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, as we typically do. And I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it a 9. For me, and trust me, I have been able to catch up on the season. It's just I have to ask myself and be judicious about the time that I and the effort that I spend in a recap because it takes a lot out of me sometimes, right? But when I'm watching a reunion, I don't find myself taking as many notes because it'd be too much going on and too many people talking over top of each other and whatnot. So we're gonna get generalizations in this recap, but we're still gonna get into the things nonetheless. Let me know in the chatterization what you guys will rate it. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Honestly, when I saw the previews for the reunion, I also wasn't excited about it because it further solidified in my mind the feeling that I get from watching Potomac, right? Again, the whole icing out of a person and this, that, and the third. But I was actually pleasantly surprised when I sat down to watch this because I said I'm going to watch it with an open mind. And there have been plenty of you that had been making comments about, okay, well, where's the Bell Collective recap? Okay, so let's get into it. Okay. I was pleasantly surprised because though I do feel like there's some we definitely don't like Latrice in this group vibes. I mean, I kind of feel like I kind of feel like she's just kind of the outcast with everybody. Like, I mean, everybody. Like, everybody on this. Like, I don't know. It just felt like she's not well liked. And I don't know why. I have had the privilege of meeting the Bells and going down before the season 2 premiere. And I was able to meet the ladies, and I fell in love with these women, from Leticia, and her and Glenn. Glenn, I mean, he's a super fun guy. You know what I'm saying? Um, I even felt like Cliff was like mad cool. I felt like I loved Latrice. I loved Marie. I got to spend a lot of time talking to Marie, and she was just so introspective and just so kind of like chill. Aikisha is very much Aikisha, right? And so Gucci was a little bit more on the quiet side, but I felt like maybe, it was just who she is when you first get to know her, right? But beautiful nonetheless. I say all that to say that it's very interesting in terms of like watching these ladies go at it in the way that they did in this reunion. And I'm like, dang, what happened to this cast of women that I felt like at one point in time were having a good time together, despite little things that had gone on during the filming. I felt like they were still a close knit group. Watching the group now, it just left me with like this sort of disappointment. I know that we want drama on these shows, and people will say that, well, if it ain't no fussing and fighting, then we're gonna turn off. But I do feel like there's something to be said for at least still liking each other a little bit. You know what I mean? And what we get in this reunion is some clear dislike. And I just don't know what that's going to mean for next season. Now, I think as I've been talking about the Salt Lake City of it all, the acting of it all, it seems like it has become in vogue for reality TV stars to tell us, to brag about the fact that they are simply acting. Okay. And I'm going to get to why that's important in this discussion regarding Bell Collective and just reality TV in general. And I'm going to tell you what I have just come. I'm resigned where I'm resigned to be in this particular space. Gone are the days of old where when we first fell in love, for the OG fans, now, not for you newfangled fans. And for me, newfangled fans, I could spot you a mile away. The OG fans were there back in the day where the drama was, I mean, it was what it was. It was organic, but the groups still felt like these are still close friends. Now, when you watch, baby, it just be like, whatever. And again, the people will tell you, oh my goodness, we are actors. And everybody's bragging about it online. Amara La Negra, Martell. Now we know about the Monica of it all. And I'm just kind of like, maybe that's just where we are. Because in my mind, all of those people, I would let them go. And y'all know I'm all about people keeping a job. I want people to stay employed. I don't ever want to take no, as Cynthia Bailey say, food off of nobody's plate. But if you're gonna be so bold as to simply tell me you are an actor, if I wanted to see acting, I would just go and watch Law and Order SVU, Murder She Wrote, all of my show, The Equalizer. Okay, for those of you guys who ain't keeping your eyes on that. Okay, I would go watch one of those shows instead of watching reality TV, which we know should be at least or feel quasi real. So that's why this whole situation with the Aikisha and the group chat and the text messages feels so crazy to me, because it just feels like some cockamamie stuff that's just made up for the sake of, giving us TV. And I got to say that because it's the truth of it all. That's how I feel. But I think what I just have to become resigned to feeling is just this is the new wave of reality TV, and this is where we are. And the more arguing and fighting and cursing and screaming and yelling and pushing each other and threatening to beat the brakes off of, the better. Okay, fine. Here we are. Let's go. So now that I have told you guys about my journey with reality TV up to this point, and now my level of expectation, I feel a little freer. Okay. I get it now. I get what's happening. I'm letting go of what used to be, and I'm embracing what is. Hallelujah. I have been delivered. Okay. So now that I've said all that, let's get into the things that I did enjoy about this reunion, because there were some things that I did enjoy. Okay? So I like a pre-reunion discussion. I like Carlos running from room to room, okay? I like seeing everybody getting dressed. I actually would love it if they did a digital special. I have been requesting this from Housewives, but maybe OWN can do it. A digital special where maybe it just goes to social media, where it really delves into the behind the scenes of reality TV, and how the reunions are put together. This could also be an opportunity for brand collaborations where you know what I'm saying, like for the ladies who are having gowns made, Maybe this could be a way that those gowns could be, I don't know, discounted, or whatever the case may be, because we could get to explore, okay, the designer who designed the gown, like what style of makeup are we going with, talk about how you prepare for the reunion. I'm interested in behind the scenes of production anyway, so this would probably fascinate me more than anything. But I do think that there's an opportunity there for brand collaborations, champagne brands, pulling things in so that it's featured. There's more than just, oh, this is a little tea for before the reunion. No, give us a whole special with it. And you may have to pay the ladies more because it could be something digital. Work that out. But work that out, because there's money to be made there. I'm just forward thinking, and how I look at how we can deliver content to audiences who love what we see, right? I want more. Give me more. Speaking of which, we will be getting a 3-part reunion for this. But the way they were flying through these topics, I was like, are we really gonna need 3? But then I forgot the men gotta come out. So the men's is a mess. So I mean, we're gonna need every last drip drop, okay, for the men. Okay, God darn it. And so I wonder, is Selena coming? Seems to me that she would be there. And if we had to take So Gucci, I love you, babes, and you look good. Okay, you're looking good on that stage. Your body, yada 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 yada. But I still want to hear from Selena. So if you got the restraining order and things, we might just have to escort you off the stage, baby, and let JJ and Selena sit on the stage and duke it out. Okay, because otherwise, I just feel like story-wise, we are missing a chunk of the pie, not hearing from Selena on that good stage. Personally, okay, that's just me, and I'm gonna keep it real and 100. Okay, so anyway, the thing that I, Carlos, this suit, sir, give it to me now, okay? Y'all know I'm a fan of the fashions, okay? When I come online to do these videos, I need to be comfortable and I need to feel relaxed, okay? And sometimes I need to do the video when I got the time to. But outside of my job, okay, I enjoys the fashions. And Carlos, this suit, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. What I did not like is these chayas. Okay. Do these women was squoze together on these chayas. And I'm looking like, now y'all should have just put them each on an individual love seat or something like that. I would, a shade lounge or something would be better than the way these women are squoze and cramped up together, looking like they just like, I mean, and then you got the other 2 ladies awkwardly, Aikisha and Marie on their own couches, looking like they about to fall off the edge of the stage. I don't know. It just wasn't working for me. But the backdrop, it was giving me what I needed though. I appreciated this color combination and the fact that there wasn't too much going on in the background. All right. So now that I've gotten through all of those little things, I also want to give a shout out to Latrice, who had her gown designed by my best friend, Riley Knox of Riley Knox Couture. Get your gowns, ladies, get your gowns. So anyway, having said that, um, I do like how they did the intros as well, where everybody got to walk out and they had their moment and whatnot. I like that. I thought that was good. That was Chef's kiss. The first 2 individuals that are kind of like going at it with each other is gonna be Latrice and Leticia. And my oh my, has this friendship disintegrated? I mean, we've got to talk about the 9 to 5ers. We've got to talk about text gate, okay? And the text gate being Aikisha out the group chat. Now, to me, this 9 to 5 conversation is much ado about nothing. It seemed to me that the way Latrice is positioning this is, you was fine with me afterwards, but somehow, some kind of way, things changed all of a sudden, and I'm the bad guy because I said, who wants to work a 9 to 5? And I'm gonna tell you like this. I've said it and I've said it before. I don't think nobody want to work a 9 to 5. I don't think nobody want to work in general. I don't. Okay. I don't want to work. If I could just sit around and luxuriously have money rain down upon me from the sky above, I would. Okay. That's what I'm working towards. I'm trying to figure out how can I get there. I am manifesting it. So to me, it was just a real statement. When I was working a 9 to 5, I would not have been this. I wouldn't have been mad either. Okay. Because I'm sure most people that got a 9 to 5 would rather just have money fall from the sky too. Okay. We all working towards that. All right. That's how I see it. All right. But Leticia said that people was emailing her and calling and faxing and sending smoke signals and whatnot. And so if that's the case, then fine. And it is her event. So since it is her event, if she is disappointed in something, then you got to kind of rock with the establishment, right? Point blank in the period. But I do agree with Latrice. Tell me when it's happening and don't wait for it. And I know a lot, this is a difficult road to walk because there is the element of we need to film a show and we need to have the conversation on the show. But there's also an element of reality where it's like, okay, girl, if this is really an issue for you and you really my friend, I must expect you to come to me with it. This is why it is difficult to have real friendships when it comes to reality TV, though, because there is the expectation that you're going to do something that how a real friend would do it. But you also have to remember that we are making a TV show and the audience will need to see me have the actual conversation with you. So while I may not have any real beef with you, I need to discuss the little beef that I have with you on the show. So I get that to a certain degree because I feel like I mean, you're kind of in a rock and a hard place because if you do have the conversation beforehand and then you are forced to address it later, it comes across as inauthentic. So it's just a catch 22 when it comes to reality TV in this day and age. We have a lot of sort of issues with reality TV and how it has to work in this day and age. But I do feel like producers do the best that they can to try to give us a story and a story arc in the best way possible. But I mean, they can only work with what the cast gives them. Okay. Um, I mean, there's some talk about whether or not Latrice was drunk at the event. Do I believe she was drunk? No. I even Marie in her response to it felt to me like she didn't really feel like that girl was drunk. And Aikisha piping in to talk about how she felt like she heard everybody say she was drunk. Maybe she did hear that, but I didn't really get that impression by watching it on the screen. That's just me though. You know what I'm saying? If she didn't seem no different than how she normally seen. And I don't know if that's bad or good, but to me, it didn't come across as drunk behavior. It just came across as like, this is how I feel. Point blank in the period. Um, we get to So Gucci, and we still didn't get really know. I don't really feel like, I mean, listen, Leticia and Latrice, the way they went in on each other, you would think that these two ladies were never friends. But I will tell you, there is no one that can hurt you more than a friend that you used to have. Hence, this is why I felt like, in my opinion, Latrice should have never outed the idea that there was this alleged plot against Tambra to create beef between her and Aikisha. Because if you participated in it, then even coming out now and saying it, I just feel like it does you no favors. You know what I'm saying? It only makes you look like, oh, you were willing to participate in taking somebody down. So while you are definitely implicating the Marie and Leticia, you're also pointing a finger back at yourself. So that was a misstep to me. And it also creates a situation where it would be very difficult for you and Leticia to ever come back from it. And if you are fine with that friendship being over, then that's cool. But just know that I like Tambra a lot, but she is not the vocal backup that Latrice is going to need if she's going to remain on this show. Because Leticia is vocal, And Leticia has so Gucci and Marie to back her up, and Aikisha to back her up. Tambra is really, I get the sense that she just ain't about no drama anyway, but she ain't gonna really give Latrice no backup energy. And that's just it is what it is. So you got on one side, you got Leticia, so Gucci, you got Marie and Essie, and you got Aikisha. And you got us, and so Latrice then has a silent timbre on her side. It's like you need somebody else. This is why I say integrate Selena into this, because I do feel like, based on what we have seen, Selena has the energy to go at all of these ladies by herself. That's the feeling that I got. Okay. Now, having said that, we talk about Gucci and Latrice, and this notion. Okay, it's two things. One, now hearing Soguchi's argument about why she felt so upset and bothered, I can understand. I can understand to a certain degree, right? If I got to find out that you got a building on social media, then that would make me feel some kind of way, especially if you say that on the show you said, well, that's my girl, so that's why I lied. And another misstep that I feel like Latrice made, you if you say again, it's like that in tandem with the fact that you were willing to go along with said plot to take down Tambra, it's kind of given like, uh I know we all rock for our friends, trust and believe. I know we will. But so like you can't say in one breath, that was my girl, so I'm gonna tell everybody she the number one realtor, and then say, well, I'm just getting to know you. Like that don't it doesn't work that way, okay? And so as So Gucci is saying, I'm seeing this on online, and you could have told me. That would have, I do agree with that. However, comma.org, there was this shock and awe that a person can work with more than one realtor. That is absolutely possible. There are agreements that exist for that very reason, that you can work with several, okay? Whoever gets you the property, okay? That's a real thing. Anybody with a real estate license knows that. And um furthermore, I would say to Soguchi, I would never have admitted on camera that, I mean, I guess it's being honest, okay? And listen, if that works, and I gotta respect that. I gotta respect that. But to say you did not get her to sign a contract because you just thought she was your friend, where they do that at? No, ma'am, Pam. Have I ever had that experience before working with a realtor? I can't say that I have. But knowing what I know now, going through the process, ain't no way I would do that. Ain't no way I would be the realtor and you working with me and you ain't gonna sign no documentations. You gonna sign the documentations, okay? It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now that documentation could be as such that you are working with multiple realtors, but at the end of the day, depending on what type of contract you sign, that you get her to sign. Listen, I mean, if somebody else got the property, then you could still end up getting the cut. So you, as the realtor, you know that's your mistake, and I mean, she does say that she learned from that, which I did like. Um, this is another moment that I felt like, Latrice says she doesn't feel like she owes Soguchi an apology, and I don't mind that because I feel like that's real. I mean, stand 10 toes down in what you feel, and I don't I rock with that. However, comma.org, it was really bad because Latrice indicated that, oh, well, I mean, my friend had looked up her information and was like, she only really sold like 5 properties. So here's the thing. I understand that was your girl at the time, but what we can't do, and I think this is end up a little bit of a problem with some of these shows, is that what we can't do is flex like we got something that we don't got. Okay. And the idea that even if she's presenting her as the number one real estate agent or realtor in Jackson, you might want to make sure she actually is close to that and you're going to stand on that. Okay. So I think that was another misstep by Latrice. Again, I like Latrice, but I just have to point these things out because she didn't do herself any favors in these moments. Um, and the other ladies I felt like were very quick on the draw with her. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I Listen, she stood her ground, so I give her that, but there were moments I was just like, oh, you know. Um, Aikisha basically sums up Latrice as an immature, childish woman who has been very, very hurt by a lot of people in her life. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I just get the sense that Aikisha don't like her, and that's just that. Um, Latrice disagrees with that assessment, and they just kind of move on. Did Aikisha steal Leticia's idea for Ferris Street? No. There's Aikisha wanted to basically buy the block, okay? And that is still what she's working on. And Leticia had an idea for a building. And to me, I just kind of feel like, it's asked about whether or not, why didn't they work together? And, Aikisha kind of runs down the timeline of, what happened and, whether or not she was trying to, take Leticia's idea. And I do believe that she had her own vision for Ferris Street as well. And so hopefully at some point they can come together. I mean, that really is that on that. And again, they were flying through these things. So I was like, oh my God, what are we going to have left? So next we talk about the Capitol and Marie, who was excluded allegedly by Tambra, the god of invites. And so as they play that clip of Marie confronting her, that "take care, baby" takes me out every time. That was chef's kiss. It's like, girl, I'm not about to be pulled into no argument with you. Okay. Anyway, so how did the invites come about? Well, so Gucci says that Tambra sent a text to all the Bells with the exception of one, and that was allegedly due to fraud. Okay. Now Tambra is saying that was the message she got. Okay. And it was a message from whomever that says we want to invite the Bells. And the only thing that she is guilty of is of not contacting Marie. Okay. Now, the funny thing about this is that Tambra says that she had deleted Marie's phone number, so she didn't have her contact information anyway. Marie claims that she never had Tambra's phone number. So how did y'all have this big group text message if you never had her phone number? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, is it that you just never saved the number? Is that what you're trying to say? Like, because there's whatever. Um, Basically, this I don't know what is going on with this fraud situation or these fraud allegations. I ain't really too in the weeds with a lot of I think the more petty drama that goes on this show. So I try to keep it pretty high level. But apparently, Leticia, I felt like she was waiting for this moment, okay? Because Leticia was like, well, you know, um, just like we weren't invited to the baby thing. Oh, congratulations, by the way. But yeah, girl, I felt like the person who led the tour, which was your cousin Tambra, Jacqueline, who also planned your baby event that we wasn't invited to. Congratulations again, girl. Um, yeah, I felt like y'all was in cahoots, and it was a big thing to exclude Marie because y'all didn't like us, and because Marie and I had sat down with your ex who did not want to be a part of the show and suddenly was upset that you was on the show and wanted to spill all your tea to us, excuse me, to us. Allegedly, that's what happened. I don't know. Um, I don't blame Tambra. Quiet as it's kept, I don't blame her. Like, once I know that you are willing to, that's where you willing to go for this show, I am done with you. Like, to be quite honest with you, I am. Like, that to me is that's some shiesty stuff. I think it's dirty. And I think for somebody who at Marie, and I told y'all I like Marie in person, but I'm talking about with the goings on the show, for somebody I mean, like, it's just big boss in it. Why would you ever even have time to do that? That's what I don't understand. Why would you have time to do that? And it's harder for me to also believe that Leticia would be involved in that, because I'm like, you got enough issues that you're dealing with on your own on the show in a couple of different directions, that why would you have time also to be sitting down with somebody's ex who is not even a part of the show? Now, if the idea was Tamara ain't got nothing going on, so we need to create some stuff for her, Tamara got to survive on the show on her own. Okay. And pulling the strings behind the scenes, whether it is to exclude her from the group chat to create some drama with her and Aikisha, or to run and find some ex of hers, because ain't nobody running and finding Marie's ex that ran out or whatever he did. Like, so I feel like, why would you go and try to find somebody else's ex? Like, to me, y'all should have like an agreement of some sort that, I mean, we're not going to dig around in the past for people that don't want to be here. Like, if they wanted to be there, fine, but according to Tambra, he didn't want to be a part of the show. So why you don't get that opportunity again? To me, y'all want to create drama with her, create your own drama. I mean, y'all big bosses, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because every other word on this show is boss, 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 boss. Okay, so boss up and bring the drama on your own. Um, I don't see no problem with not inviting her to the thing, because if you ain't even got my number, I ain't gotta invite you. Period. So Carlos, I love that Carlos is like, well, basically, you were never invited, so you couldn't be disinvited, for real, for real. I mean, and I'm like, Carlos, you so shady. I'm like, did you know that you said that? Anyway, um, then Leticia goes. It sounds like it's a break for lunch, right? So as they're sitting, well, the Tambra and Latrice squoze in together on this couch. The way that they was, probably couldn't even get up out the couch because they squozed up in there like sardines. Leticia goes over, she's standing over top of Latrice because Latrice has said something about somebody being a liar. So at that point in time, Leticia calls Latrice an insecure B, and it was a lot of B's going on. And Marie is trying to pull Leticia away. Okay. At that point, Marie calls Latrice childish or something to that effect. And Latrice says something back to her. And I guess Marie says, who are you talking to? And Latrice is like, I'm talking to you. At that point, Marie turns from Boss Belle to Beast Belle. Okay. And what I mean by that is she at this point is screaming about beating the brakes off of her. I'm gonna beat the brakes off of you. I'm gonna beat the brakes off of you. I'm gonna beat the brakes off of you. I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm the one. And I just want to be like, listen, you know, for me, I'm gonna tell you like this. If you gotta tell me who you are nonstop, if you gotta scream that you a boss, that you a ball, I'm a boss. This goes for anybody on any show. You got if every other word is I'm the boss, I'm the boss, I'm the boss. You know, I'm the one, I'm the boss, I'm the boss, I'm the one, I'm the one, I'm the boss, I'm the big boss. Get your word up, get your word up, get your word up. You know, like it to me, if you like, I just feel like to me, someone in like those positions is probably like the space that Marie occupies. It's just interesting to me that she's so bout it. When I'm watching Married to Medicine, let me give you guys a contrast. When I'm watching Married to Medicine, and I feel like I see Dr. Heavenly about to get in somebody's face or something like that, I don't really believe that that's gonna happen. Now, maybe at certain points in time it was because Married to Medicine, now that I think about it, you know what? Let me not hold these ladies to the fire too hard. Because Married to Medicine started off with, you know, a pocketbook, a pull, a hair tug, and a beat down by the pool. And Miss Lucy, you know, popping Toy upside the head with a pocketbook. So, you know what? Let me get off my high judgmental horse for a second. It's just something about, I think for me, you know, the sort of interesting dichotomy of in one breath screaming, I'm a boss, I'm a boss, I'm a boss, and then I'm gonna beat the brakes off you. And maybe, you know what, maybe a boss will beat the brakes off you. Maybe. But it just felt like to me, I don't know, maybe it's the space that I feel like reality TV is at in general, that it just feels like, yo, like y'all, I mean, we just watching a bunch of people that don't like each other no more. Like, and it's they don't like each other for the sake of perpetuated drama. And I think we would be one thing if we felt like the drama was naturally occurring, but it just kind of feels like, well, y'all arguing because of a group message caper that went wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna beat the brakes off of her because she called you childish? Did she steal your man or something like that? Like, I don't know. So maybe it's just me, and maybe it's a little bit of reality fatigue or whatever. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the chatterization down below. I'm willing to admit I could be at a space where I'm just like, you know what, certain things like it's been a week of like mess with like certain shows, just kind of like, I don't want to say certain shows, but certain people on certain shows have just like kind of making me feel a little jaded with regards to some of the stuff that we seeing on these shows. So like after a week of hearing I'm an actor, I'm a paid actor, you know, or well, you're an actor, and just shenanigans, it's been so much pulling the wool back and pulling the curtain back that it just makes you feel like, dang, like, man, like, should I just be watching Law and Order? You know what I'm saying? Can I trust what I'm seeing with my own eyes, or do I even feel like do I even feel like buying into it anymore because people online bragging about like how this stuff ain't even real? So I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the chatterization down below. I just had to keep it 100 in this video because that's just where I'm at with it today. Maybe tomorrow I'll be feeling a little bit fresh. You know what I'm saying? But today I'm jaded. I ain't gonna even lie to you. That's where I'm at. That's how I feel. And I can't, and I like big butts, and I cannot lie. Okay. So there we have it. That's my review for Bell Collective. I'm back on the ball with the Bells. I still love these ladies. I still have hope for them, because I do feel like they do have something very special. If you've ever come into contact with any of these women in real life, like as a group, I will never forget, you know, celebrating their season 2 premiere with them, and everybody feeling like, yeah, there were some like little issues beneath the surface, but also still feeling like they could all come together and still have a good time. And I don't really feel like that right now, but maybe it's just because of how I feel in the moment after a week that we've had this week. So, I mean, I'm human, so give me some grace. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.
So, Desiree Davenport, what are you hoping to accomplish with this show?
Honestly, I've lost everything in the most horrible way possible. And listen, I want it all back. I'm willing to build it piece by piece, and I mean brick by brick.
Oh, honey, she is done. I bet you a Birkin she doesn't last all season with us. Just watch.
I'm Misha Hill, and I'd like to consider myself the matriarch of this dynamic group of ladies. I mean, someone has to keep them under control.
I'm Davita Delaney.
I mean, I think I could teach these ladies a thing or two about how to get and keep a good man.
They said she was a gold digger. She ain't hear that from me.
I'm just really looking forward to being surrounded by other empowering bosses.
Yes, I know exactly what she's doing. And if she keep playing in my face, I'm gonna have to let her off her dirty little secrets just like she did to me. And I'm not playing.
Let's get this straight. If I brought you into this circle, I just as easily can take you out. She ain't running nothing over here, okay? She needs to be worried about running that household and worried about why that husband of hers is never at home.
Oh, hell.
Ooh, child, this is about to be a mess.
Oh my God, I hate mess. What in the world did I get myself into?